In this video, we're going to be discussing my review of Hotwired heated gear. Make sure to check the description for links to the exact gear that I used. It really helps the channel if you buy it through those links. Thanks. It's mid-October here in Kansas. Fall is here, winter is coming, and with that comes the lower temperatures that for most motorcyclists mean the end of the motorcycling season. I don't like to stop riding just because it got cold out. In my entire motorcycling career, I have ridden through the winter. In fact, my first motorcycle I bought in December, and I rode it the whole winter to commute from my house to school. In spite of the fact that I've been riding in cold weather for nearly 20 years, I have only just about a year ago bought heated gear, and I wish that I'd bought it a whole lot sooner. What I'm wearing right now are a Hotwired jacket liner and pant liner, and then I also have the Hotwired heated gloves. I bought these about a year ago so that I could enjoy the winter riding season a little bit more. Previously, what I would do is I would just bundle myself up with a whole bunch of layers, and although that worked, the reality is, at highway speeds especially, you're just going to end up getting wind chill, and there's not a whole lot that you can do about that. The heated gear does a really good job of trying to help prevent some of the effects of the wind chill, and it just makes for a much more comfortable experience when you're riding in those colder temperatures. I just got back from a 2,000-mile trip where it wasn't all that cold, but temperatures in the mornings were at about 40 degrees and got to a high of about 60. And once you get below 60 at highway speeds, the heated gear is very nice. I chose Hotwired gear for a few reasons. The first one is the fact that it doesn't require an independent controller, which both makes the wearing of it simpler and also reduces the cost. The cost was a significant aspect because the Hotwired gear is significantly cheaper than some of its competitors when you factor in the total cost of purchase. And I also liked the simplicity of it, being able to just simply plug it into power on the motorcycle and then being able to turn it on just with the buttons. The jacket and the pant liners have buttons on them, and you push them to turn them on, and you have 3 separate settings that you can do for temperature, low, medium, and high. But there's also a smartphone app that you can download, and with that you have 10 temperature settings. The gloves are similarly simple to operate. These plug into the jacket liner with a little power plug that comes out of the sleeve and that tucks into a little zipper pocket if you don't have the gloves. You plug it in on the bottom, it's comfortable to wear, and then you have a separate button for the glove heat that is just on the back of your hand. Same thing, you've got 3 different temperature settings that you can use with it. I wore this gear riding all last winter. My motorcycle was my standard commuter so long as there wasn't concerns of snow or ice on the roads, and I rode in temperatures as cold as about 10 degrees Fahrenheit. When you get to be that cold, then even the heated gear has a hard time keeping things up, but the reality was I wasn't uncomfortable. The biggest negative that I had was cold air getting around my neck, and you have to wear a warm baklava or a scarf or something to try to help keep your neck insulated, because otherwise the blood going to your head will get very, very cold. But this gear works very well. While the jacket liner has plugs for gloves, the pant liners also have plugs if you have heated socks. I don't have that, and I don't plan on getting them. I'm not sure what the control for the heated socks is, if it just follows the heated pant settings or if there's something else that you have to do with them. But even in the cold temperatures that I was riding in, I didn't feel a need to have heated socks. That said, I was only riding relatively local. I wasn't going further than about a 30-minute ride in the 10-degree temperature. But on my recent trip going where the temperatures were 40 degrees and I was riding all day long to do 500-mile days, I didn't have any issues where I felt like I needed anything more than a second layer of socks, which worked just fine for me. Although I've installed the Hotwired app on my iPhone, I don't consider it to be very useful because although it gives you additional heat settings that you could potentially use, the 3 heat settings are just fine, and my iPhone doesn't work with the Hotwired gloves, or with any gloves for that matter, so it doesn't end up being something that I can practically change the settings of in a manner that's going to be very useful. The other negative that I would say is that you are not able to turn off the heated gear once it is turned on until you unplug it. So if you're going down the highway and you only need to have the heated gear on a low temperature setting, and then it warms up a little bit to where you don't want any heat at all, the only way to make that, to turn off the gear entirely, is to somehow reach down and unplug the gear. That gets a little bit cumbersome to do, but it's not too big of a deal overall, and I didn't find it to be particularly bothersome on my trip. Another thing to be aware of with the Hotwired gear is that I found the sizing to be a little bit off. I'm about 6 feet tall and I weigh around 175 pounds. So normally I get large sizes when I'm getting a shirt or pants or things like that. I ordered a size large jacket liner and pant liner. Both of these are fairly baggy, and this is wearing them over a sweatshirt and sweatpants. So this is how you would typically want to wear them when you were riding. So like I said, these are a little bit baggy. I probably could have gotten a size medium. Conversely, the gloves were the complete opposite. I normally wear a large glove, and I ordered a size large gloves initially. Those were far too small. I couldn't even put them on my hand. I then went to a size extra large gloves, and these are okay, but they're still a little bit on the smaller side. Now that I've worn them some and broken in, they fit me pretty well, but I actually probably could have gotten a size 2XL, and I think that that might have been okay. So my takeaway suggestion is you probably are going to want to get the liners a size smaller, and you're probably going to want to get the gloves a size larger than what you're typically used to. But most motorcycle gear stores have a generous return policy if the sizing is wrong. So generally speaking, you don't have to worry about this all that much. To me, it wasn't worth it to return the jacket and pant liners to go one size down. The gloves, on the other hand, that was a definite issue, so I did in fact have to return those and get the size 2XL ones. I hope that you found this review of the Hotwired gear useful. I certainly have been happy with it, and it's done wonders for making my fall, winter, and colder spring day riding more enjoyable. Thanks for watching. Leave any questions down below in the comments, and happy riding.